Welcome back to another edition of Technique Tuesday. I'm Billy Joe, and today I'm going to be taking you through some waltz technique. So the waltz, German word waltzen, it means to turn, and it's that classic dance that we see happening, turning, dancers just gliding beautifully, almost as if they're on air, around the ballroom, always danced in close hold. We may come apart briefly, but danced in close hold with our partner, which caused quite a stir in the 18th and 19th century. So we're quite familiar with those Brahms and that Strauss and those Chopin tunes. It's that classic 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 with a gentle rise and fall, which is just a nice smooth gliding floating dance. Absolutely beautiful once you can nail it. And there are a lot of basic principles that we can apply to really enhance your dance. So today, rather than focusing in on one single step, I'm going to give you a lot of pointers that you can translate into most of the steps that we would do in FitSteps. We're going to cover your box step, the principles there, the timing, how to get the timing, and how to keep yourself on time. Okay, so let's start with, I'm just turning myself on the diagonal because it's going to be easier for you to see, but we will be dancing this facing each other in our normal FitSteps way. So we're just going to start with that classic box step. So as I mentioned before, there is a percussive beat, there's a prominent percussive beat on the one, and that's the one that we're going to listen for to get us in with the music. Now, I would always rather a dancer waited for a few bars until they were sure of the music, rather than coming in a bit too soon and off time. We want you to listen for that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Once you nail that timing, you can't really make a waltz look too bad, not without really trying. Okay, so once we've got that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, we will start with the box step and apply some principles they're going to remain the same throughout. So when we're driving forward on that one, we would like to drive forward on a nice strong heel. Now ideally we would keep the heel in contact with the floor and slide it forward before we come to rest and collect our weight. I do appreciate that in FitSteps we are in trainers, so you could practice this if you wanted to on a nice smooth floor in your socks or in a less grippy shoe perhaps. So we're going to drive forward on the one, we're going to drive forward with a heel lead, 1, and we've collected our weight. What we're going to do at the end of one is rise up slightly, just onto the ball of our foot, before we take step 2, which will be to the side. Now I am just going to take a step to the side. My feet have passed each other. Can you see that my leg here, my standing leg, is just ever so slightly soft? We don't really straighten our legs in ballroom. When we talk about a straight leg in ballroom, there is still a nice softness in the knee. So my feet have passed, both knees are soft, and I'm going to step to the side on 2. I'm continuing to rise. So we started to rise at the end of 1. I'm continuing to rise through 2, and I'm going to lower at the end of beat 3. Now can you see that I've changed my weight and I've just softened this knee even more. This is the next foot that we're going to use. So let's do that just again from that perspective, and then I'm going to turn and face you so that we can do our box step together. So we're driving forward on a strong heel, nice strong heel forward. We're going to drive, and then we're going to pass our feet. We glide to the side, we're continuing to rise, and then we lower at the end of 3. I'm going to do that with the count for you. So we drive forward, we commence to rise at the end of the 1, so 1, up, 2 is a continuation of that rise. I'm still going up, my feet are apart, my knees are soft still, my feet come together, and we lower, close and change weight. We're ready to go back. So when we dance that together in a FitSteps format, we might use a hug hold. If you're happier just with your hands on your hips, that's absolutely fine. And if you would like to go into a ballroom hold in either stance, that's absolutely fine as well. So we're just going to drive forward. I'm going to tuck my hands out the way just so that they're not distracting. So we're going to drive forward, nice strong heel lead. You can actually see the bottom of my foot here. That's how strong that heel lead is. Step forward. We can pass our feet. We step to the side. We've started to rise. We continue to rise. And we lower at the end of 3. I'm sinking down. It's not quite as low as tango, but I'm sinking down just to show you that I've lowered. Again, and we'll do the backward half. Okay, so we're going to push, slide, squeeze this time. So we push along the floor, push, start to rise, slide to the side, and then we squeeze, we lower and collect our weight. We've changed weight. This side is free. We're still going to push, slide, squeeze. We're going to take our toe back. We're going to test the water as if we're not quite sure we want to take that step. It's a nice pointy toe. Stay where you are. I'm just going to do this. It's a nice pointy toe. Okay, so we take the step. Once we roll our foot, we're going to commence to rise at the end of the one, and I've released my toe. It comes in and passes. I slide and continue to rise. I close my feet and I lower and change weight. We do that again, the whole box. So we push, slide, squeeze and lower. Push, release, slide, squeeze and lower. Soft knees throughout. We're going to try and, it's much harder to do slowly than it is when we've got the music on. So we're going to push, slide, squeeze, heel, toe, toe, heel, toe, toe. Push, slide, squeeze, back, release, slide, squeeze. Ready with the heel, toe, toe. Heel, toe, 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 lower. When we go backward, that becomes toe. Toe, 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 lower. Good, absolutely lovely. So when we want to apply these principles to any other step, we're still going to keep the push, we're still going to keep the slide, and we would still like to get that squeeze on 3. We reset on 3. Everything comes back in, nice soft knees, beautiful stance. So let's apply those principles to the next step that we're going to cover today is your chassis. We would still like to step forward on a strong heel. Heel, gliding across the floor. When we do a syncopated chassis 2 and 3, we're going to imagine you're climbing a ladder. We're going to go all the way up. We're going to go 2 and 3 is our highest point. My knees are still soft. I'm not tippy-toeing on straight leg. 3. And then we would do it again. We're going to stick a whisk on the end. We're going to do heel, up, 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 lower. And we're going to whisk. These are all low, across, up, up, up. Good. Doesn't matter which way we go. The chassis principles remain the same. Climb, 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 lower. Climb, 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 lower. We get this nice rise and then a lower at the end of 3. Step across, we'll do it the other side. Heel, toe, 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 lower. And again, heel, push. We're still going to slide. Slide, slide, slide and climb, lower. Other way, we step across, slide, slide, slide. Hopefully you heard my feet sliding then. Lower. Good. Okay. Contra checks. So do you remember earlier when we did the box step? We took our step backwards and I released the toe before I brought it in and stepped to the side with a lower. There's no toe release going forwards, obviously. When we go back, we release that toe. We're going to cover contra checks in the dance that we're doing today. And it's just a reminder for you, when we do our contra checks, we do want to release that toe. We do them on both feet, so it would normally be in a hog hold, but if you have an alternating ballroom hold for these, that's absolutely beautiful. We'll cover both in the dance. So let's step back in a nice contra body movement, which means my opposite shoulder to foot is forward. And I've released the toe, and we come up and change. Other side. Releasing the toe. That's the point I want to get from this. We just want to release the toe. We could do it like this. And gather, release, lift, gather, lower, release, lift, gather, release, lift, gather. So the principles that we're going to take today, we want to listen for that prominent percussive beat on the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We lower in and rise at the end of 1. We continue to rise through 2, and we lower at the end of 3, ready to start the next bar. In your head, throughout your waltz, a nice gliding picture, a nice floating picture, turning to that classic song, I think it's Strauss or something, or the Blue Danube, I'm not sure. And we're going to push, slide, squeeze throughout. Let's apply that again one more time to the box. Push, slide, squeeze, push, slide, squeeze, push, slide, squeeze, push, slide, squeeze. Okay, let's apply that to our dance.